The storm season is here, and Cassie, we know this week you have your eye on a particular system for us.
Yeah, you know, that special's on Thursday. Well, that's also a day that we could see some severe storms.
Okay.
It usually works out that way, honestly. We're obviously getting a little bit more into spring, and today we do have a storm system, but right now it's over Colorado and Kansas, and it's starting to drag some of that rain now into the Panhandle, which is an amazing thing because that seems like it's the place that's hardest to get any rain around here lately. So we'll see if anything actually hits the ground. It's just been so dry. But here in Oklahoma City, certainly dry. In fact, we've seen plenty of sunshine. You can see the clouds that have been basically along I-44. It seems like all afternoon they are finally trying to shift to the south and also kind of breaking apart. So in the meantime, this is our National Cowboy Museum camera, part of our Lucky Star Sky Chem network. Gorgeous 55 degrees, a northeast wind at 7 miles an hour. So starting out a little cool this afternoon, but mid and upper 50s across the north, while we have low 70s in the southeast and some low to mid and upper 60s really across south central Oklahoma with that northeast wind between about 10 to 15. But in the Panhandle, it's more of a north wind anywhere between about 25 to as much as around now 50 miles an hour out there in Cimarron County. So this storm system, it's going to stay well to the north, and it's just going to continue to track off to the east and northeast. We have some storms that are trying to make their way into Dallas, and that's also going to move to the northeast, but should stay just south of Oklahoma. So pretty quiet weather pattern for the next couple of days for Oklahoma. Things are going to be pretty cool. Temperatures are going to be back in the 50s tomorrow. But by the time we get to midweek, we're going to start to warm things back up. So now we're looking back into the 60s and possibly even the 70s, at least for some of us, as we get into Thursday and Friday. But this is the storm system coming in out of the west that we're going to be watching very closely. And right now it's going to send probably a couple different waves our way. The first beginning Thursday into early Friday morning, and this particular wave, it's going to start with the dry line out to the west, and right now the cap is in place, so we've got the lid in place, and it's going to be really hard to get any storms to actually develop. But by Friday, we should get rid of some of that cap and storms should develop, but then the chances to be a lot higher in eastern Oklahoma. Behind it, temperatures drop off just a little bit for Friday afternoon. Then as we get into the weekend, looks really nice. Just a slight chance of rain for Sunday and into Monday. But as we get into Monday, Tuesday, and into Wednesday, temperatures are really going to take off. We're expecting highs to be in the 80s for at least a few days next week. This next storm system, we're going to watch that closely. Right now, it looks like it's going to stay well to the north, but it could send a few showers and storms our way in the meantime. So tonight, dropping down to about 35 degrees in Oklahoma City, but the upper 20s and low 30s across north, 30s and 40s across the south. Tomorrow afternoon, it's still going to be a north wind, so temperatures back in the mid 50s, but I still expect to see plenty of sunshine. So still a beautiful day. And then Wednesday, now the winds back to the south between 15 to 25. That's going to help temperatures to warm back into the 60s, low 70s in the northwest, but mid 70s out in Guyman. Thursday afternoon, we're going to be back in the 60s and 70s, but this is where the storm system starts to move in. The dry line's going to set up in the Panhandle with a slight chance in any one location out ahead of it for an isolated shower or storm. But again, that cap is going to be in place. If we were to get those storms to develop, any one of those storms could become on the low and severe, quarter-size hail, maybe wind gusts of 65. There is going to be a very low tornado threat at this point. Thursday night and Friday, that cap should weaken a little bit and storm chances will start to go up a little bit more. Friday afternoon and evening, especially in the southeast, that's where I think the storm chances will be a lot greater. The dry line moves basically right across I-35, so just a slight chance of rain and storms for Oklahoma City at that point, but still any storms that do develop out ahead of the dry line could become severe with hail, wind, and a very low tornado threat. But the weekend looks fantastic. We're going to be in the 60s on Saturday. By Sunday, temperatures in the mid 70s, and by early next week, temperatures are going to climb into the 80s, and right now, generally, it does look pretty dry next week as well. Amanda, back to you.